With the excitement rendered from our first look of Kill Team Tomb World, we are finally getting our very first bespoke Deathwatch Kill Team. And if you're new to Warhammer 40k, you may be wondering, who are these black armored badasses? Space Marine legends? Chapter rejects? The galaxy's most dangerous group project? Is it an honor to serve? A sacred duty? Or is it more of a, oh shit, you messed up and now the Inquisition doesn't know if it can trust you and wants to keep an eye on you for a while? Today we're cracking open the secrets behind Deathwatch, as well as a box of tiny plastic operatives who may or may not be guilty of war crimes. First, what is the Deathwatch? The Deathwatch is the Inquisition's elite Xenos hunting force. They are the guys who get called in when the orcs build something so big and so dumb that it actually might work. Or the Necrons decide that this planet needs a sarcophagus makeover. They are Space Marines, yes, but not from one chapter. These guys are pulled from all chapters across the galaxy. You'll have a Blood Angels assault veteran, a Raven Guard sniper, and a salamander who keeps trying to pass out safety tips. And they all have to get along. Spoiler alert, they don't. It's like a really angry team building retreat with bolters. Now, is it an honor or a punishment? Being chosen for Deathwatch can mean one of two things. One, you are a glorious badass, handpicked by your chapter to represent them. Two, you messed up and the Inquisition says, let's put you somewhere dark and dangerous where we can keep an eye on you, but away from polite society. Which brings us to the Black Shields. Now, we really can't talk about Black Shields without talking about our favorite Blueberry, who is really having a moment right now with the success of Space Marine 2. Of course, we are talking about Titus, the poster boy of the Ultramarines, the wielder of the chainsword, and all-around certified badass. So here's the thing, Titus wasn't just sent to the Deathwatch, he was sent to serve the Black Shields, a sect of the Deathwatch. And this wasn't a promotion, it was punishment. Titus didn't join the Deathwatch, he was sent there. But why was he sent to the Black Shields? Because Titus is just unbreakable. I mean, really, because of his ability to resist the corruption of the warp. He can face the powers of chaos without dying, mutating, or going full demon prom date. And his ability to do this, to face chaos, to face the warp without being mutated or affected in any way, raised a lot of eyebrows. It was very suspicious. It triggered an inquisitorial investigation. The Inquisition sees him as potentially compromised. His chapter, well, not his whole chapter, really just one asshole named Leandros sees him as a liability. So what are you going to do with a possibly tainted Space Marine who is too dangerous to ignore and too valuable to kill? You send him to the Deathwatch. And why the Deathwatch? The Deathwatch isn't just elite kill teams. So the Deathwatch is also a place where Space Marines can go when they do not have a chapter anymore. It is also a place a Space Marine can go when they've made a mistake and must redeem themselves. It is also a place where the Inquisition can keep an eye on suspicious Space Marines. For Marines like Titus, who have been accused of heresy or of being tainted by chaos or just politically inconvenient, Deathwatch becomes a prison of service. A place to serve under constant scrutiny. A place where every move, every decision you make is not judged by your chapter, but by the Inquisition itself. This is why the Deathwatch is so fascinating. For some, it's a sacred honor. And for others, like Titus, it's a chance to earn redemption. Not that he needed it. F*** you, Leandros. So, how long does a Space Marine serve in the Deathwatch? The official answer is 5 to 10 years. That's the minimum length of duty. Long enough to learn how to kill every Xenos threat in the galaxy, and maybe develop a healthy paranoia towards shadows and spores. But here's the fun part. Some never leave. Maybe their chapter forgot about them. Maybe they saw something that made them unfit to return, and maybe they just like it. There's even short-term deployments, emergency responses, mission-specific call-ups, but those are rare. Usually you're in it for the long haul. And once you served, when you go back to your chapter, if you go back to your chapter, you're never quite the same. You've trained in watch fortresses, fought things your chapter's codex doesn't even have words for, and survived being bunkmates with a space wolf. You come back to your chapter and everyone's like, why are you standing in the dark corner polishing your bolt gun in complete silence? They don't know the things you've seen. But why was the Deathwatch formed? The Deathwatch exists because the Order Xenos needed a rapid response. A surgical strike force, not an army, just an elite few, a kill team that could get in and get the job done. They were officially sanctioned by the Inquisition and now operate out of watch fortresses. But how do other Space Marines feel about Deathwatch? About serving Deathwatch? Or what do they think about people who have served Deathwatch? Depends. Some revere them. Some distrust them. Some say they come back off. Not chaosy, just different, quiet, efficient. Like they've seen some stuff that they're not allowed to talk about, nor will they elaborate. I feel like it would be like going out with a friend who just got out of a really deep therapy session and you can tell that they're off a little bit and you're like, oh, you good? And they're like, yeah, no, I'm fine. I'm totally fine. It's just, yeah. That's the Deathwatch returnee. And circling back to the Kill Team box set that was just released, this is one of the reasons why it's so exciting. This Deathwatch team is going to be very interesting. You get to decide, who are they? What chapter do they come from? Are they here for redemption? Or are they here for glory? Are they fighting the Necrons to protect the Imperium? And of course, the full rules are not out. We just got a first look of the box set, but what we do know is that we get 10 or 11 models, and then we get to hand pick an elite kill team to fight whatever foe we're facing. And I think that is super interesting. We get to pick the best setup possible to win. So these guys are going to be fierce competitors, and I think that's going to be a lot of fun. So is the Deathwatch an honor or a punishment? The answer is yes. It's for the elite and the damned. But regardless of what brings you to serve the Deathwatch, it is true that your time there will change you. So whether you are a poster boy or a problem child, the Deathwatch has a place for you. And with that, thank you so much for watching another in my series of the Beginner's Guide to the Grimdark. If you like this type of content, please be sure to like and subscribe. And if you have ideas or if there's other topics you want me to cover, please just leave those topics in the comments below and I'll do my best to get to them. With that, thank you.